everyone, I'm Jemma from Cinnamon Cupcakes and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do a video on a topic that's really close to my heart, that I'm really passionate about, and I hope it comes across on my blog, and that's ditching the diet culture. Now, my readers know that I don't subscribe to diets. I think they're really faddy, restrictive, and they promote unhealthy eating habits instead of developing a healthy relationship with food. Unfortunately, diets are a massive part of our everyday life, and they really shouldn't be. Whether it's a billboard advert, a new faddy diet in a magazine, they're just everywhere. And I really hate that the media don't use their powerful voice and speak up more about ditching the diet culture and loving your bodies. And I'm very into encouraging women even to love their bodies now rather than 10 pounds later. I think it's been ingrained in us that if we're smaller, then we're going to be happy. If we lose 2 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, however much it is, we're going to be happier. But that's not necessarily the case. There's millions of women who have reached their, magical goal weight where everything is going to be perfect and they're going to feel good, but they're still miserable because they haven't addressed the underlying issues. And that's what diets don't do, and that's one of the things that I really hate about them. And I hate the kind of restriction that's associated with them. And diets are boring, let's face it. Diets are really boring. They kind of take the pleasure out of food, and food is there to nourish you, it's there to enjoy. And I don't know, I just really hate diets, if you didn't know already. And it's not that I have anything against people wanting to lose weight. It's not that at all. If it's coming from a place of love and it's not fueled by negative self-talk, and losing weight isn't a punishment, it's you wanting to become healthier and happier, then great, go for it, lose that weight, do what you need to do. But if it is fueled with negative self-talk and you're hating yourself and you think losing weight is going to make you happier, then I think there needs to be some work done there in loving yourself, loving your body, knowing that you are worthy of greatness because you deserve it. And when you love yourself, that's when the real magic happens, because that's when you believe that you're worthy of self-care, looking after yourself. And that's a really beautiful place to be. And that's something that dieting doesn't teach you. It doesn't teach you how to love yourself. It kind of strips away everything. It teaches you what you can take away from your everyday rather than what you can inject back into your life to help you feel more balanced and more happier. And that's what I talk about a lot on my blog. So yeah, I don't subscribe to diets at all. And loving yourself isn't about thinking that you're Beyonce or anything special. It's about loving yourself because you deserve it. And let's face it, you're only given one body in this life, so you might as well love the body that you've got. And I feel exactly the same way about doing what you love. You're only given one life, so you might as well enjoy it whilst you're here. There's no point wasting time on doing something that you don't want to do. So today I want to talk about ditching the diet culture and give you some hints and tips on how I ditched the diet culture, because back in the day I used to weigh myself constantly, sneak into my mum's room. I was in my early teens and up until my early 20s, trying to be someone else, constantly weighing myself, trying to eat like someone else, trying to basically fit a round peg into a square hole. And it took me a really long time to realise that there was nothing wrong with the way that I am now. And I'm just really passionate about helping women realise exactly the same thing. And so today I want to talk about how to ditch the diet culture. So when we feel our clothes, being a little bit tight, when we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see, diet is the first word that tends to pop into our heads. And I just want women to kind of move away from that and just embrace themselves, love themselves, and just show themselves a little bit more kindness. So I'm going to jump right in with some tips on how to ditch the diet culture. Don't compare yourself to others. When we think about losing weight, we tend to kind of look to other people, like slimmer people, people with different body shapes who we kind of desire, and we try and kind of like morph into something that we're not, like by trying to follow certain diets or eat like this other person, do the same workouts as this other person. But even if you eat the same foods as this person and do the same workouts as this person, you're never going to look like this person. It's genetically impossible. She looks like the way she does and you look like the way you do. And just realizing that the diversity in this world is a beautiful thing is kind of like probably my number one tip, that we're all different, we're all individual, and not one thing that's going to work for one person will work for another. So try not to compare yourself to others. Just do you, concentrate on you, work on yourself, and let that other person work on themselves and their lives. And once you stop comparing yourself to someone else, that's when you'll become a lot happier. I think it's just a natural human trait that we do compare ourselves to other people, but seriously, it needs to stop. So stop comparing yourself to others. My second tip would be to ditch the scales. I used to obsess over numbers, and it used to make me so miserable when I would see my weight, go up by an ounce. And I used to celebrate when I used to lose like 2 pounds. My mum used to keep the scales in her room, and I'd sneak in there probably once or twice a day to check my weight. But what really helped me is realizing that a number does not determine my worth. It doesn't determine my happiness. A number cannot, it has no associations with how I'm feeling. So ditch the scales, throw them out the window. Really just get rid of them. And automatically, by taking that stress and that anxiety out of your life, you'll feel instantly happier. My next tip would be to have a social media cleanse, and it's kind of linked to my first tip on don't compare yourself to others. I think social media is a wonderful thing. It's a great way to stay in contact with people, staying up to date, etc. But it can also encourage anxiety, comparisons, stress, and negativity, and it can be overwhelming. So have a social media cleanse. Just take out and unfollow those people that are having a negative influence in your life, and fill your feed with people that have a positive impact on your life, and you'll feel so much better for it. Next up is realizing that health is more about your physical being. Your emotional health, your mental health is just as important to look after as well as your physical self. This is what holistic health is all about. It's about a more rounded approach to health and looking after yourself. So health isn't just about the way you look on the outside, and I think that's what the diet culture focuses on. It focuses on the aesthetics rather than what's on the inside. And you need to nurture what's on the inside for a more kind of wholehearted approach to health. So self-care, self-love, making more space for joy in your life, that's all again part of being healthy and feeling well and feeling balanced. So don't just focus on your physical self, also focus on your emotional self. My next tip is associated with perfection. We live in a society that's constantly chasing perfection. But sorry to break it to you, perfection doesn't exist. I don't know what it is. We're all trying to be something that we're not. But I think you just really need to just settle and just embrace who you are. Perfection doesn't exist. So why waste your energy trying to chase it? Just learn to love yourself and embrace who you are. And I know saying it isn't as easy as doing it. It takes a lot of work. It can take weeks, months, years. But once you start on that journey, making the first step is such a positive thing. And I think we need to realize that perfection isn't everything. Learning to love yourself, learning to be yourself, more authentic, you know, that buzzword, authenticity, that's when everything kind of starts to slot into place. And when you start kind of working on being happier, being more balanced, being healthier, and just everything aligning and connecting, and that's when we feel good. So stop chasing perfection. Do you, be you, and love yourself. My next tip is learning how to switch off the negative self-talk in your head. You know, that bitch in your head that constantly tells you that you're not good enough, you look horrible, you look like crap, you need to lose the weight to look better. You know, we've all been there. Even though I've learned to love myself more, I still have those days, and I know in the future I'll still have those days, but I'm better equipped with dealing with those days. I just drown out the negative self-talk with more positive messages in my mind. I'm better at rewriting the script. So things like writing lists about what I love about myself, celebrating what I love about my body. It's so easy to pull yourself down, but it can be just as easy to build yourself up and praise yourself and love yourself and celebrate your life and your body. Writing like a letter to yourself of what you love about yourself and keeping it in your desk or your handbag, so you can refer to it when you do get in these kind of like funks of negative self-talk. So learning how to drown that out is a really good starting point. Ditching the diet culture it takes a lot of work. It's slow progress, but my God, it's so worth the hard work. When it happens, when it clicks, it's like all the negativity that the diet culture ingrains in us just kind of drains away from your mind and your body, and it's so worth it. It takes time, so my next tip is just take things slowly. It's not going to happen overnight, and realize that it's not going to happen overnight, but taking that first step is the most important step that you'll ever take. It's all about baby steps, but you're building up to something amazing, so just keep on going. My next and final tip is aim for balance. When we move away from the diet mentality, we're aiming to work towards balance. Now, balance is ingrained in everything that we do. We have yin and yang, we have left and right, we have up and down, we have black and white. Balance is everything, and it's everywhere. Balance is when everything is well connected, everything is coming from a place of love, we're cruising along, and we're in this happy, beautiful, content place. I've recently launched my Essential Balance Guide, and you can download it free from my blog. I'll drop the link below. You can print it out, refer to it when you need it, take from it what you will. It's a resource that I created for you, because I thought that originally that balance was, you know, a cupcake in one hand and an apple in the other, but it's not at all. There's so many aspects to balance, and that's why I created this resource. You know, there's things about self-love, self-care, body positivity, all things to help us feel balanced, settled, and good in our lives. So that's the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I really hope that you can take away some tips from it, that I hope some of it perhaps resonated with you and you're going to find it helpful. If you do take just one thing away from this video, I would love it to be that when you ditch the diet culture, that's when you really start living. That's when you start enjoying food again. That's when you start eating food to nourish and fuel your body, rather than trying to lose weight and deprive and punish your body. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.